So, another night, another job. I'm not even sure where the videos are at the moment. Kind of just filming as I remember to do anything. So, I've got here a nail on a string, because the level that we have is just not really long enough, we've found, to actually level these walls out. But a 1 meter level like that is about $70. No, sorry, about $40. You go anything longer than that, and you're looking like $170 for a level. It's insane. We've already filled that bag up with all of our sawdust from the middle part of this piece of wall, and then I've just tonight gone and done this amount of dust from just the very bottom of all of these studs. It's amazing how it builds up. So from the piece of thin board that came from when we put in that header, that piece there, I've been cutting off little bits, I've nailed them in, we've planed them down again, because this board stud here was about that too recessed, but here it was too far out this way. So hell of a lot of deviation between what you're doing. At the end of the day, you can only really do your best though. And I've also put a little caveat on myself that we're not making any noise if we can past 9 o'clock. So that's where we are. That board's in, that bit of wood's in. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. And then this couch is pretty much demolished. Emma's had a really good go at that. So that's mostly in the fire now. With this stuff here, we don't really want to burn that. So our rubbish bin's pretty full these days, but yeah. So down below's, I'll tell you what, this is just hard. Well, it's not hard, but it's very time consuming. And you only got a couple hours when you get home, and you got to, cook and help with dishes, and then you're planning other stuff, and you're involved in other things. Like, I can see how this process is going to take quite a long time before we do the whole house. But rest assured, once I've sort of shown this sort of stuff being put up, and once I've shown me doing some of this sort of stuff, I'll try not to repeat myself and do the same video but a different location another day, because that's boring. No one wants to see that. Another thing that some people do is that you'll get, say, 3 bits of wood the same width, and you'll just simply nail your string onto that piece of wood, and then that bit of wood onto your stud, and then same at the other end, so that the gap between your string and your stud is the same thickness as your third piece of wood. Scott Brown Carpentry, another New Zealander who's got a lot better production quality than I have, was showing a lot of that. So he's one of the big people that I've been following and getting a lot of advice from, whether he knows it or not. But so I'll post a link in the description if you like these sort of. Well, he's an actual carpenter. He gets paid for building things, but he's pretty good, pretty entertaining. I'm a big fan. So yeah, it's actually 9 o'clock now, so we'll call it there. But I just want to show a little bit of progress, that like just this one wall, and now I can't even finish the very top of it, has probably taken the best part of 4 nights to do to get it to this stage. So I know we're only doing like an hour or hour and a half at a time when we come in here and try and figure shit out. And again, I'm only learning. I'm figuring stuff out as we go. It's just taking a bit more time than I'd have hoped. You can sort of see there's a little bit of evidence of borer in this. We have bug bombed the place, so the insects themselves should be dead, but I'm not going to put more timber in there, because that's just another level. And then up here, that's packing it out, because this rough course itself is about 1 to 2 millimeters. I think it's maybe 1.5 thick. So we've got 3 bits actually in that spot, but that's all good. And then we've got the planer and shined all of these ones up. So happy to say now that I'm happy with that wall. That's one wall that when we put the jib on, it will come out relatively straight. If you have a plus or minus 3 millimeters, it's about okay as you get. Any 3 millimeters or more, then you look at straightening it and adding some or taking some away. But if it's less than 3, then It's not too noticeable, not a biggie. So, tonight's plan, I will finish putting that up, and then I can cross that off my list. I've got a big old list of what we need to get done. And I might look at trying to level the south wall, which is this one here, or at least making a start on it. Emma's also had a real good time with these couches, very slowly, just getting burnt piece by piece in the fire, keeping us warm. Good over winter. But yeah, so that's where we're at. So we're going from all cut to, and that's how it is. That's up. So no more gaps. That's all good. Only took like, I guess, an hour or so. So made a whole lot of progress. That wall's all level. That wall's all level as of today. And just working on the last piece of this wall. We've gone up and across. We've had studs that were rotated, like actually physically rotated, so we've had to like trim the corner away a whole bunch. This one here, also some high spots and low spots, so getting that all up and nice. And then just run my string line down here for this one. And it's kind of weird because those three there were essentially 2mm out, so I've put one piece of this rough course. I'm just cutting them into strips. But these three, 1, 2, 3, are 5mm too thick, which is a bit weird because it's like, well, because my one piece of jib is probably going to reach to this part of the windowsill anyway, do we have them on the same level as those ones? And just have it this one piece of wall here, that's all good. But decided against that, so I'll be putting in a whole bunch of these, like 3 of them per stud, even though I've had to plane this whole one down here a crap ton because at the top and in the middle it was really far out. So I can't use the string line over these windows because the window wood comes out just a little bit too far for the string to be effective with how it works. So just been using the level. And also just wanted to show you that we had a really shit sort of a spot by this corner here. So I've decided to cut away on this bit of window here where there was a couple of nails we couldn't get to, because when we slot our new jib in behind that, that was just going to hit the nails and be useless, and there's no way I'm going to be able to rip the whole sill off. So I've just trimmed them down on each of them. We will file them and sand them and then repaint them. When it's all said and done, it's still going to look okay, but this whole stud here had rotated out, which was a hell of a problem. And so I've had to chisel down this with an actual chisel and then saw part of it and get the planer in on all these angles that we could do. So yeah, this part of the job's just been pretty much a nightmare, but that's alright. You can just see the amount of sawdust, like just handfuls of stuff. It's insane. And we were walking it all through the house, and Emma's been frustrated. Tough girl that she is. So yep, just a bit of an update. We'll finish this wall tonight, and then we'll have one more wall to do. Emma's pointed out to me as well that on this particular stud, where it's had, like I initially showed you a bit of bowing there, I'm pretty sure it was, someone's tried to cut that on purpose to, well, really they should have tried to drive a wedge in there to bring it back up, but they haven't. So that's a massive bit of weakness in that bit of timber, and so I'm probably going to have to strap some to the side of this on either side and make it work. The other thing we've got to be thinking of is we're going to, our plan at the moment is on that wall to have a big old tree design with some bookcases or shelves just fixed straight into the wall. So I'm going to have to map that out and put some timber in as bracing for when we do put more things on the wall. So yep, this is how we're going. Emma's getting through the second couch at the moment. We're dumping all of the foam and mattressy stuff and just burning all the wood and clearing out the staples and bits of metal and things that we find in the fireplace the next day. But it's good to get rid of them. And winter is coming. Winter is here, just about. So yep, that's what we're up to. Yeah.